How to play carom board or finger billiards. Carom board game, also known as fingerboards. The game can be played by either 2 players, singles, or 4 players, doubles. In singles, the players sit opposite to each other. In doubles, partners sit opposite to each other. What do you need to play the carom board game? A carom board, 9 black disc, 9 white disc, 1 red disc, called a queen. The discs are referred to as caromen, 1 white striker disc. Carom board design. Carom board design is a square, smooth, flat wooden board. In each corner is a circular hole, and underneath each hole is a net to catch the pieces. At the center of the board is the center circle. Around the center circle is the outer circle. The caromen are arranged inside the outer circle. Baselines on 4 sides. There are circles at the end of every baseline called the base circle. Carom board has 4 diagonal arrow lines pointing towards all 4 holes. The diagonal lines serve as the foul lines. While striking, the striker cannot touch the diagonal line. Also, you cannot cross a line while striking. Objective of play. The basic objective of carom is to use the striker with a flick of a finger to drive the caroman into any of the 4 corner pockets. The aim of the game is to pocket one of the 9 caromen, along with the queen before your opponent. Game setup. The queen is placed at the center of the carom board, with 6 pieces encircling the queen, in alternate white and black order. On the outer side of the circle, the remaining 12 pieces are placed, again in the alternate white and black order. The pattern should be made in such a way that the white pieces form a Y with the queen as the center, and the 2 upper segments directing to the pockets. The arrangement should not cross the outer circle. Who goes first? To determine which player goes first, you could toss a coin or guess which hand your opponent is holding a play piece. Basic striking rules. Player's wrist or arm can touch the carom board and not any other part of the body or hand. A player can strike with the striker using his index, middle finger, or by both of these fingers of either of his 2 hands. The thumb can be used for backward shots, or the player can make use of rebound shots to strike pieces touching the player's baseline. Fouls and penalties. When a player commits a foul, the turn comes to an end immediately, and a penalty is incurred. The penalty is that 1 pocketed piece is returned to the board by the opponent anywhere within the main circle. A foul is recorded in the following situations. If the striker is pocketed. If a player pockets the queen in first strike. If a player pockets the striker with his or her piece. The striker or any other piece leaves the board. If a player pockets queen and an opponent's piece, then queen and a penalty piece will be returned to the center, but opponent's pieces pocketed in the same strike remain pocketed. A player pockets his or her final piece before the queen has been covered. A player pockets the final opponent's piece. Then opponent's piece and a penalty piece will be returned to the center. If your striker only touches an opponent's caroman, then there will be a foul. You need to touch at least one of your caromen or the queen. Where a penalty is incurred but no pocketed pieces exist to return, the penalty is owed until a piece becomes available. If the opponents forget to do this before the start of the next turn, any owed penalties are lost. Player loses his turn in the following situations. If player pushes the striker to hit the caroman, a player arm crosses the diagonal foul line on the board. If a player fails to break correctly on their 3 attempts, a player touches any piece in play other than the striker. Let's start the game. One player or team takes all 9 black pieces and the other takes all 9 white pieces. In order to shoot the caroman, the striker should be placed on the baselines in such a way that it should touch both of the lines. Or if the striker is placed on the red circle at the end of the baselines, the striker should either completely cover the circle or not touch it at all. The game begins when a player strikes at the circular pattern of caroman with the striker. The single player or team has to strike only pieces of one single color throughout the game and pocket them as early as possible. Every player has a single chance in a round, but if he pockets a piece, he gets another consecutive chance. Covering the queen. A player may only pocket and cover the queen if that player has already pocketed at least one of that player's color. Once the queen is pocketed, the respective player should immediately pocket one of his caromen to cover the queen. Failing to do so, the queen is put back on the board on the center spot. If a player pockets the queen and one of her own pieces in the same turn, this counts and that player has covered the queen. How to win the game. At the end of the game, the winner scores 1 point for each opponent's piece left on the board. The player who correctly covered the queen gains an additional 5 points. Games are played to a total of 29 points, or 8 boards, whichever comes first. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe on our YouTube channel and follow future videos as well. And click on the bell icon to activate notifications when new and exciting videos are uploaded. Thank you for watching this video.